Earthquakes are one of nature's most powerful forces. They can level cities, trigger tsunamis, and cause widespread destruction. Understanding what causes earthquakes is crucial for protecting ourselves and building safer communities. By studying these events, we can learn to predict their impact and mitigate their devastating effects. Imagine the ground beneath your feet suddenly shaking violently. Buildings sway, objects topple over, and the earth rumbles with immense power. This is the terrifying reality of an earthquake, a natural phenomenon that reminds us of the incredible forces at work within our planet. While often destructive, earthquakes are also a fascinating geological phenomenon. They provide valuable insights into the Earth's structure and the dynamic processes happening beneath our feet. By studying earthquakes, scientists can learn about the Earth's internal layers, the movement of tectonic plates, and the forces that have shaped our planet over millions of years. An earthquake is a sudden, violent shaking of the ground that can cause significant damage and disruption. This shaking is caused by the movement of rocks deep within the Earth's crust, where immense geological forces are at play. Picture a wooden stick being bent. As the pressure increases, the stick will eventually snap, releasing energy in the form of vibrations. This is similar to what happens during an earthquake. Similarly, the Earth's crust is made up of massive plates, known as tectonic plates, that are constantly moving and interacting with each other. When these plates collide, pull apart or slide past each other, stress builds up along their boundaries, which are called faults. Like the snapping stick, when the stress exceeds the strength of the rocks, they break, releasing energy in the form of seismic waves. These waves are what we feel as the shaking during an earthquake. These seismic waves travel through the earth, causing the ground to shake and tremble, sometimes violently. The point where the earthquake originates, deep within the Earth's crust, is called the hypocenter, or focus. This is where the initial break occurs. The point on the Earth's surface directly above the hypocenter is called the epicenter. It is often the location that experiences the most severe effects. This is usually the area that experiences the most intense shaking and can suffer the greatest damage during an earthquake. To truly understand earthquakes, we need to delve into the concept of tectonic plates and their movements. Imagine the Earth's surface is like a giant jigsaw puzzle, with each piece representing a tectonic plate. These plates fit together intricately, covering the entire planet. These plates are not static, they are in constant motion, albeit very slow motion, driven by the heat from the Earth's core. This movement is a continuous process that has been happening for millions of years. The interactions between these plates are what cause earthquakes. When plates grind against each other, they release energy that shakes the ground. There are three main types of plate boundaries, each with unique characteristics and effects on the Earth's surface. 1. Convergent boundaries, where plates collide, often resulting in one plate being forced under the other, a process known as subduction. This is a powerful and dramatic interaction. This can create mountains, volcanoes, and powerful earthquakes. The Himalayas, for example, were formed by such collisions. 2. Divergent boundaries, where plates move apart, allowing magma to rise from the mantle and create new crust. This process is essential for the renewal of the Earth's surface. This process typically results in smaller earthquakes and volcanic activity. The Mid-Atlantic Ridge is a prime example of this type of boundary. 3. Transform boundaries, where plates slide horizontally past each other. This lateral movement can be quite significant. These boundaries are often associated with powerful earthquakes, as the friction between the plates can create enormous stress. The San Andreas Fault in California is a well-known transform boundary. Section 4. Cracks and waves, faults and seismic energy. In this section, we will explore the fascinating world of faults and the seismic energy they release. Faults are fractures in the Earth's crust where rocks have moved past each other. These fractures can vary in size from a few centimeters to hundreds of kilometers. They are the zones where the Earth's plates interact and where most earthquakes occur. The movement of these plates is a continuous process that shapes our planet's surface. When stress builds up along a fault, it eventually exceeds the strength of the rocks, causing them to break and release energy in the form of seismic waves. This sudden release of energy is what we experience as an earthquake. There are three main types of seismic waves, each with unique characteristics and effects on the Earth's surface. First, we have primary waves, or P waves. These waves are the initial shock waves that travel through the Earth. They are the fastest type of seismic wave, traveling through both solid rock and liquids. Their speed allows them to be the first waves detected by seismographs. They cause the ground to compress and expand in the direction the wave is traveling, much like an accordion. Next, we have secondary waves, or S waves. These waves follow the P waves and are responsible for much of the shaking felt during an earthquake. These are slower than P waves and only travel through solid rock. Their inability to move through liquids makes them unique. They cause the ground to shake back and forth perpendicular to the direction the wave is traveling, creating a more intense shaking motion. And finally, we have surface waves. These waves travel along the Earth's exterior and are often the most noticeable during an earthquake. These are the slowest type of seismic wave, but also the most destructive. Their energy can cause significant damage to buildings and infrastructure. They travel along the Earth's surface, causing the ground to roll and sway like waves on the ocean. This rolling motion can be particularly devastating to structures not designed to withstand such forces.